welcome back to Let's Play Phantasy Star: The End of the Millennium. I happen to be your host, Pookie7, and, well, believe it or not, we're in Zima. And the fact of the matter is that now we are going to actually go inside Burf Valley and see what the hell is actually going on here. So as you can see, our stats are as follows. We are at a good chapter, a good level 8 or 8, 7 or 8, something like that. And yeah, just doesn't make sense, right? Weirdos. Anyway, moving onward. What we're going to find is pretty much shocking. We got dead people. Well, stone people, but I think they're still dead. No, no, they're alive. And where we're going is the bioplant. Guys, what's that? We're going to die! Stop cowering. Men are such cowards. It's nothing. That's true. And since we are here, we're facing new enemies. This is the armed drone. Can hit hard if you let it. Among most times, you can hit these enemies, or they're more miss and hit. And after all that, Chaz gains a level, and he learns Hinas. There's some writing here. Sterilization treatment completed. Please follow the line on the floor. So that's what we're going to do. And this one is Gisa Falug. Miss and hit. And this gives us 57 experience. We get an antidote. And in this area, I think there's some... Nope, there isn't. You know, it's been a while since I actually played this game. And I have it on my Sega Genesis. I kid you not, I have this on my Sega Genesis, as well as on PlayStation 2. And for some reason, I haven't touched my PS2 in like a good while. And Alys gains a level. So before we continue, let's heal. Now, Hinas is basically an escape spell. That's all Hinas is. It's an escape spell. You can escape from any dungeon at any time. Truly, it is a useful weapon. I mean, a useful skill. Because sometimes if you feel you're going to be under-leveled, it's best to use Hinas. And then here we find a cure paralysis. The thing about Phantasy Star, you have to admit, is the fact that in order for you to actually advance, you really need to do the following. And that is to basically grind. Momomento. Ooh, Grizz, you're not looking too good. Let's fix that. That'll do. But yeah, that's the thing about Phantasy Star. The Phantasy Star games, up to this point, have always had this certain challenge. And that challenge basically wants you to, you know, grind and grind hard. Now, the funny thing about this is, while it may be good to try and take on the level as is, it is always good to be a few levels higher than you are now. Which is why I differ from other LPers when I do certain games, especially when it requires you to grind. Because when you actually grind, it makes a world of difference. But I think that's the one thing that I do enjoy about RPGs. There are certain games that will, you know, allow you to grind like mad. And then there are just games that just, you know, you can only go so far, and yet what you do is not enough. But you're good enough for it. Okay, so I think there's an item here which I'm going to grab before I actually go to this area. And like most people, they would often just Grizz is down. And like most people, in which they cut out the bells, I prefer to leave mine in. Because it's the same battle you've seen before, but you know, they don't really last that long. See, what we can do now is, since Grizz is down, we can't escape. Or can we? Really? No. And no. And in here we have a graphite crown. And this is for Alys to wear. It increases her defense by 4 points, so we're going to use that. And with that, we are going to Yep, it is. So in here, we learned that there's some right here. Rest section, unauthorized entry prohibited beyond this point. Alright, so what we do is we could try and go where Rika is, but thing is how we're like this far from death, we're not gonna take that chance. Instead, we're going to go out, go to the end. Yeah. And then most likely go back through. Now, from what I can tell, by looking at everybody's stats, everybody is around about 7 to 9. So in order for level ups, Han will be first, then Grizz, then Chaz, and then Alys. Okay, game cannot be saved here, so let's just keep going. Because we are bound to actually grind while we're up here and in here. So what I did earlier was I managed to do the following. I played Fire Emblem on the last on the last time I played it, which was chapter 8. Because I had 2 chapter 8s, but the reason why I did chapter 8 over was because I wanted to get the other route. So now next time, I'm not sure if I'll do it tonight, but the next time I come around to doing Fire Emblem. Oh. There's gonna be a big difference. So therefore you have your heads up on Fire Emblem. So yes, I will do both routes. Because no matter who you pick, the only people who will switch off are Seth, Ford, and Kyle. Those are the only people who will switch off throughout that run. Uh-huh. Good man. Very good man. And Grizz levels up, which is great because now we can go in deeper and further. And if that thing is just as weak as the last one we faced, that was blocking the route to Burp Alley, oh, then we're in for a good old-fashioned beatdown, aren't we? Good rule of thumb? Really? this guy will actually, as long as he does fission, you will have quite a time actually trying to get him to spout out more of those weird things that he keeps spouting out. Those bio monsters. Thank you. After all that, now we find an antidote. Wow. So we come up here. No. And up this long corridor, we find only one path you can go, and I do not want to fight you neo-whistles. Because you guys are terrible. Okay, so we're going through what seemed to be the... Oh, crap. Ouch. Ouch. Thank you. Well, like I said before, I really don't like this area. You can see why I don't like this area. Because this area is full of hurt. And I don't like hurt. Hurt is bad. Hurt is very, very bad. And I gotta do a lot of healing. I forgot you got TP too, sir. So the thing is, we gotta keep going. Ceramic sword. This is great. That's a godsend, sir. Wow, just 50. Is that 15? No. That's 19. That's 14 more points than before. With only 2 points for defense. I'll take it. Hey, if it makes us any stronger to get rid of these jackanapes, I'm all for it. There's an antidote. And moving down. You just had to come and show up, didn't you? Well, let's see how strong that sword is. Oh, very nice. That sword is pretty damn strong. Clearly, the first 4 was the best of the best in the series. After which, it wasn't really much to look at after the end of the millennium. Truly because it was the end of the millennium. Where to go? I can go to my left? Oh, wait. They both lead to the... Never mind. Professor, thank goodness you're safe. Oh, Chulon, you came to rescue me. Good job. Well, it seems pretty safe here. But how on earth were you able to escape on your own? Well, you see, this person here came to my rescue. Who? Welcome, everybody. I'm glad to have you here. Cat girl. That is all. Cat girl. What? Who are you? My name is Rika. Rika. Pleased to meet you. Rika. Those ears. What on earth are you? And what is this place? This is the bioplant. It's a research facility for bioengineering created by a 1,000-year-old civilization. And she's a nickel gene. Well, we'll just call her Newman. This is from an ancient advanced civilization? Is it still operational? Oh, yes. What's more, this isn't the only one. There are many such systems that have maintained their functionality. And thanks to these systems, which control Moldavia's climate, soil, and ecology systems, but the human race was able to avoid total destruction after the Great Collapse. Really, is that true? If that's the case, how come this recent environmental destruction is taking place? Even though the control system is still functioning, and I'm nearly out of breath, it can barely maintain the minimal conditions for your existence. Even now, this system is starting to run out of control. Chaz, do you understand? What? Well, then does that mean the recent increase of biomonsters is coming from here? Nerd talk. Yes, unfortunately so. If you want to know more, talk to Seed. He's over there. Seed? Seed! Presenting Seed! So where's this person called Seed? He's right here in front of you. What's going on? I am Seed, the control computer for this bioplant. Wow, an artificial intelligence. Yeah, AIs, before they got dumb. I can't believe it! That's right, this is no exception. Check my status here. The system is beyond my control. It is continuously breeding harmful monsters. Just as I thought. If we leave each of these systems running out of control along with this monster problem, we will have abnormal climate conditions and violent changes in the planet's surface. Moltavia will be destroyed. What shall we do? The only thing we can do is shut down the system. But stopping the system itself will cause problems. We won't be able to maintain the ecosystem. That's better than the system ruining everything. But these systems are spread all over the place. Don't worry, all we have to do is shut down the plant nervous, which supplies energy to each system. That will shut them all down. First, please rescue the control android Demi. She's the only one that can stop Nervous. Rescue? What do you mean rescue? Rescue the Phantasy Star mission. Right now, Demi is being held hostage by a man named Zio. I'm not doing it. Zio again! Who on earth is this Zio? Oh, it used to be called O-Ranger. I myself don't know what Zio is all about. All I do know is it was supposed to be the third incarnation of Power Rangers, but that's just me. So all we have to do is rescue this Demi, right? Where's she being held hostage? She's with Zio. And the name of that castle is... Zio's Fort. Zio's Fort. Is that by any chance beyond the Quicksand Mile? Oh, that sinister looking castle north of Zima. Pretty long way to go. I haven't heard all of this. We no choice. It's been a long time since I felt so excited. And while we're at it, why don't we get rid of that disgusting character Zio? Hey, that's the spirit! So, you will go. Please, take Rika with you. Who is this girl anyway? She seems curiously knowledgeable about these matters. She is my child. Are you saying that she's an artificial life form? That's right. She's the product of 1,000 years of improvement on genetic information, from a prototype prior to the Great Collapse. I have also given her a basic education. She'll surely be a great help to you. Alright, see, we'll take her. Alys, really?
Thank you. I've always wanted to be able to see the outside world.
Rika, take care.
Okay, let's get going to Zeo's fort.
I must first go back to the academy. We have to spread this information as much as possible. So we leave, Holt leaves, and sadly, Rika leaves. There is only one way for me to stem the outbreak of monsters. Now that I've sent into the world the fruit of 1,000 years worth of research, there are no obstacles to its execution. If you count the fact that she hasn't really, well, experienced life, then yeah, I guess you have done your job, haven't you, sir? And so,
we're outdoors! Oh, I didn't know the sky was so blue. These flowers, they're so beautiful. How lovely!
being cooped up all this time underground, everything must be so novel. What was that? An explosion.
Seed.
Rika, you must carry on the wheel of seed. Right, sure. You can't look back now.
I know.
So with that, there's no more Briff Valley. How sad. So now we must carry on the wheel of seed by doing it in the most awesome fashion we can. But first we must go back home. And where is home, you might ask? Well, certainly isn't here, that's for damn sure. Well, leveling her up shouldn't be too bad, especially if we have this. A graphite crown would take away from a titanium crown would take away from the graphite crown by 4 points. So, monies. This is the town of Aido. This is where we were in the first part of the Let's Play. And this is where we can actually get ourselves a free heal. And where do you get the free heal? You go here. Ah, we're finally home. Shall we take it easy for the rest of the day? Yep. Okay, let's be up bright and early tomorrow. Free heal all around. Awesome. And like I said before, while you're here, you can also go to the Hunters Guild. Now, the Hunters Guild offers side missions. So, if you ever want to gain Meseta as well as experience, then while you're on Motavia, go to the Hunters Guild. Of course, the thing is, you cannot go and do every mission there is available. There are certain parts that can there are only missions that can be triggered by certain parts throughout the whole game. So therefore, you only can do one mission per arc, whenever that arc is. So this part is, namely, the Zeo arc. So that's what I'm calling it. I'm calling this the Zeo arc. And if we go in here, we are treated to some old school goodness. I'm gonna stay here and just enjoy this. Anybody who has ever had a Sega Master System or have actually played an arcade game, y'all know what this piece is. And that was a little bonus for you guys. Hope you enjoy that. Anyway, only for those who actually do enjoy good music, y'all know what that was. Another thing I'm going to show you is that, of course, there's a weapon and armory shop here, but also if we go around this way, this leads us to the jail. And of course, really, later on, you will see two girls here. And those two girls are going to be, how should we say, part of another side mission. But more on that later. Right now, we want to go to the second best shop in this town, which is here. Let's see. We can get a ceramic helm, ceramic mail, and I can only get, what, 2? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I can only get 2. I believe 2. No, just 1. Alright, so let's see. Oh, snap. Let's see who has what. Okay, Chaz, you're getting this. We're going to sell all our titanium equipment. Because really, who needs it? And this should get us over 30,000. Okay, and this should put us over the 4,000 mark. So we are going to buy the following. We are going to buy another ceramic nail. I could buy another graphite suit, but I don't want to. Okay, second person who will get this. That'll be our newcomer. Rika. Because why not? Now what we can do also is we can just do Passover and let Han wear the graphite suit. Boost up his defense a good bit. And what we can also do is sell off this carbon suit because really, who needs it? Now we only need to get 2 more armors. And after which, I think we'll be all set. Now, what we can do is, for our next couple rounds, which I will be doing some severe grinding off screen, is the fact that for Han we can get him a ceramic knife. Chaz, I believe, already has a ceramic sword, so we don't really need to worry about him. 2 saber claws and 1 struggle axe. So, before I forget, I'm going to save here. And we're going to go into here because this here is the... No, that's not the fortune teller. No, the one down, I think it's to the left of me or to the right of me. The right of me, okay. We're going to talk to this fortune teller because she is somewhat important.
Yes, you Alice. Thanks for everything the other day. For you, I'll tell you your fortune for free. No, don't. I don't seem to be in good shape today. Come back some other time.
Talk about your deadly premonition. Yeah, that's a sign of things to come, isn't it? So, what I'm going to do is when I come back, we're already at our base of operations. I think it's best to say that I'm going to be grinding for a bit just to make sure we're on a decent enough course to take on Zeo's Fort, because Zeo's Fort will prove very, very difficult if you're not ready for it, or if you're not at the exact level you need to be. So with that, don't go anywhere. Do not go anywhere. Because in our next episode, we shall be a few levels stronger than we were before. So, with that, let's play Phantasy Star, the end of the millennium will return after this.